With an opener like this, you want to challenge your team. We want to schedule in the sense of playing teams that are going to be high level, especially in their league, especially in the RPI, teams that have chances to make the NCAA tournament when their season comes to a close in the regular season. And I think we've accomplished all that with Stony Brook. And with all that being said, they're even better than that. And they're deep, and they returned maybe their all-around best player. Arguably, I mean, it's not my opinion. It's other people that have played against him in that league. They've been battle-tested. I think that league is outstanding, and without a doubt, very, very good coaching league. I think Steve Peichel is excellent. He's been a well-known guy in coaching circles for some time. He's got the UConn background, and he's built a really strong program. And when you being in the Big East, you gain a lot of respect for programs like that. I was playing Boston University a couple of years ago. You gain a lot of respect for programs like that. On any given night, they can win. And I think that's what we're going to face here. We're going to be tested as much as we have in our time here in openers, and as much as any that I've been a part of as a head coach. So it's going to be a game where we're really, really going to have to come to play. They play hard, and everything that I can see, they're not a team that's going to ever back away from anything. They're well-versed in how they play. They're an inside-outside, outside-inside scoring team, whatever the game calls for. And really, really good three-point shooting team. And just solid all the way around. So we have a game plan. We want to try to execute it. Our guys have been very locked in to how to prepare for it. We'll do even more tonight with them. And before you know it, it'll be time to play an opener. So it'll be fun to have the opener here. It'll be fun to have a great crowd. But there'll be nothing fun about that game when it comes to playing and coaching it. It will be an absolute battle.
When you have a guy like Dewar that's made 250 threes in his career, I mean, just talk about what kind of challenge that is.
Well, I look at them, you always want to try to put a point of reference for the players, and I'll say this to them tonight. They have Wisconsin tendencies. They have a pace that they want to play at. They have a style that they want to play. They have a scoring. There's a place where they really score well, and that's when they win, and they're good at it. And so with him, he can score in so many different areas. He shot fakes and drives. He drives and shot fakes after. He shoots deep threes. He shoots it off the dribble. He shoots it off the catch. He shoots a runner and a floater in the lane. He can get to the basket and get fouled. And at the same time, you've got numerous other people in there that make plays. I mean, when you talk about it, that's a deep team. I mean, when you talk about, going 9-10 deep, and there's not a big drop-off when they go to the bench, that's what we see there. And but there's no question he's the guy that makes them go. But he's not the only guy, and they do a good job of playing off of him.
What kind of is their style in the pace, and what exactly, I guess, are they trying to do on offense, trying to do on defense?
Well, they spread the floor, they get it inside, they do some 4-around-1, they set a lot of ball screens, good movement, they'll run their break, there's ball screens early, there's ball screens late, and they do a great job of spacing to the corners, and defensively, they'll mix defenses. They've played different defenses, whether it be a 2-3, a 1-3-1, or man-to-man. They're the epitome of a shell defense team. If you don't move bodies and not just the ball, it really allows them to stay in really, really good rotation. And shell defense is what you always want if you're doing it right. And if we just stand and pass, and even if we move the ball well, if we're not cutting, screening, using ball screens, constant ball reversal, we'll play right into their hands, and we don't want to do that. So there's got to be ball movement, body movement, and a lot of action inside of it.
Are the guys doing a better job moving defensively during the practices now than maybe they were last year? Oh,
absolutely, absolutely. But this is going to be a physical game. I mean, this is going to, and we knew it when we scheduled it, this is going to be a really physical game. I mean, this is not a, and I'm not sure we're ready for that. We're going to find out. I mean, we're going to find out. But they play, they put a body on you, and they're battle tested. And there's a lot of teams around the country that are, and they're one of them.
What do you expect the starting lineup to be?
I'm not sure yet.
Okay.
I'm thinking about that. I've got a couple in mind, but I don't have a five. I think we're at the point we basically have 6 starters and maybe a 7th knocking on the door. based on the last couple of weeks of practice. But by no stretch are we where there's any type of set lineup. By no stretch are we where it's a 6 or 7 man team. We want to be, we want to try to do a lot of different things. I mean, we want to try to be deep. You have, as I said earlier today, you're not deep unless there's not much of a drop off. So we're not sure yet if that's there, but we're going to find out over the next couple of weeks.
Where are Tom and Christian just in terms of getting their fitness back?
I would say good, not great, sporadic a little bit, and it's the rhythm of playing together. You know, Tommy, he's got to keep finding things in the offense because shooting from the perimeter and things like that, it stands out even more that he's not shooting from the perimeter as much or looking to score from the perimeter because everybody else is moving so well. And with that being said, he's got to move even better, find different places. There's got to be more random basketball. He's a little like Matt Roth. They're two entirely different players. But they're a little bit, we always talk about Matt. This was Tim Buckley's line. He's got to get lost in the game. Well, Tom has got to keep facilitating so many different things when he's in the game. And it's not just in a post-up. It's not just in the high post. It's not just in pick and roll. And what we're trying to get him to do is not just want to go ball screen, but really, really move. And hopefully that'll help him build some confidence offensively. But right now, the most important thing for both of those guys is the defense and rebounding because we can't have any energy drop off tomorrow. I mean, they're not going to put a guy on the court that can't score. And that's what good teams do. And that's what we've got to get to. And we have not been that. But from what I've seen on film, they do not put a guy out on the court that can't make a basket.
You guys said last week that, or you said last week that you guys hadn't really worked in too many offensive sets yet. Do you feel like you guys have made strides in this past week since the end of the
Strides, but we're not even close. I mean, there are certain aspects of our offense that aren't even close. So that's the way it is. I mean, it's not a lot I change about how we've structured practice and what we're doing inside of the 20 hours. If we're moving the ball and we're getting good shots and we're making the next pass, then a lot of that stuff will take care of itself as we get a rhythm. But as far as our timing and rhythm, and that's one reason we went a little longer today, it's just not there yet. But it will be. It's just not there yet to where you would want it. But again, I'm biased because I never think we're ready to play when it comes to having enough in. So don't just take what I say on it. I mean, it's my view of it. But I'm also coaching them, and I know exactly what it should look like. So we're not there yet, but maybe a lot of teams are. But we've got to move the ball well, and we've got to be very, very active defensively so we can score off of that. And I think tomorrow night will be a challenge of tempo, and we've got to make sure that we can get out and play. And if they take the initial part of the breakaway, that we don't just stop, that we keep playing. So hopefully we're going to be good there.
How important is it for the team to show some improvement defending on the perimeter, especially?
Well, I think we got to show improvement in every area, and I think that's I don't break it down into one certain area. Again, as a coach, you want improvement in every area, and that's what I expect, and I think that's what they expect. I think that's what they expect.
You might have a team again with size disadvantage that double teams Cody in the post. Is working through that going to be key?
Sure, absolutely. We spend a lot of time on those things. We spend a lot of time on how we're utilizing Cody and Christian for that matter, and lineups that come together, and certainly as we get into the next couple weeks of the season, that'll start to play itself out a little bit better. But Cody's a lot more than one dimension, and we're trying to help him understand constantly how to do that at the collegiate level and feel that freedom that we want him to feel, and he's getting there.